Continuing our reading in Ragweed and Poppy by Avi, this episode is chapter 40, Inside Gray House. Yes, the real estate agent was saying to Susan's parents, who were standing in the largest room of the house. The house does require a great deal of work, but I can assure you, it'll make a lovely, quiet home. Susan, bored with the talk, walked into the front room and moved toward the doorway. That was when she saw Ragweed run into the house through the front doorway. "Spaghetti!" she cried. "You got lonely and came after me." She rushed forward to catch the mouse. Ragweed, seeing the girl come forward toward him, hands extended as if wanting to snare him, ran away as fast as he could. Lothar, fleeing the snake, ran into the house and shot right past the girl. "Mommy! Daddy!" Susan shouted. "There's an animal in the house and he's trying to catch spaghetti!" Ragweed headed for the main room. So did Lothar. So did Susan. Now it was Dudley the dog who burst forward, trying to catch Lothar. And the real estate agent in the main room was saying, "As you can see, this house has many closets." As he spoke, he opened one of the closet doors. When he did, 45 terrified mice gazed up at him. One look at the human standing there, and squeaking and squealing, they poured out into the closet and began to search for safety in all directions. Susan entered the room and, seeing all the mice, cried, "Mommy, Daddy, look! The house is full of Spaghetti's family!" As she spoke, the mother raccoon, in pursuit of Lothar, rushed into the house. "Lothar, come here!" she called. Lothar, glancing back, only to see the barking dog chasing him. He searched for somewhere to go and saw only one place. He ran to Susan and hugged her tightly. Susan began to scream. The dog, standing in front of her, barked furiously. Ragweed, catching sight of an old hat in a corner, climbed to the crown where he could watch what was happening. "Dudley!" called Mr. Saunderson. "Come right over here. Get in this closet." He pulled open a door. Though the dog did not come, 100 more mice poured out of the closet and scattered in all directions. The mother raccoon, seeing that the boy was being attacked by the dog, raced forward and leaped upon the dog's back, gripped him tightly with her strong claws. Dudley, taken by surprise, started yelping and began to run around in circles, trying to shake the raccoon off. Mice were everywhere, squealing and shrieking, attempting to get away and find safety. "Dudley!" cried Mr. Saunderson. "Come here, boy!" He too chased after the dog. Mr. McGuffin and his assistant were trying to help Mr. Saunderson corner the dog, while also attempting to pull off the mother raccoon. Let's see if we can get this dog in here," Mr. McGuffin shouted to his assistant. He pulled open another closet door. 50 more mice ran out of the closet and began their own frantic search for safety. Now it was Susan's parents who rushed to their daughter's aid and attempted to pluck off Lothar. Lothar, panicking, clung to her leg. The girl kept shouting, "Get it off! Get it off!" The next moment, Poppy and the other mice under the snakeskin walked into the room. Seeing the snake, everyone in the room froze. It was Susan who shouted, "A snake just came in!" "Out!" Susan's father shouted. "Everybody out of here!" It was Susan's mother who grabbed Lothar, pulled him from her daughter's leg, and flipped him across the room. Then she took hold of her daughter's hand and fairly dragged her out of the room and the house, not stopping until they reached the car. They jumped in and were followed by Susan's father. The mother raccoon, seeing that Lothar was standing alone in the corner of the room, confused and not sure where to turn, rushed to him. "Come on, baby," she said. "Follow me. No more nonsense." Lothar did not resist. The two raccoons raced toward the back of the house, and the only way open to them reached the rear porch, kept going into the orchard, and were soon out of sight. At the same time, Mr. McGuffin and his assistant hurried out of the front doorway. Mr. Saunderson, holding tightly to the dog's collar, went after them. They stood together in front of Gray House. They watched the blue car drive away. I have to think, said Mr. McGuffin, those folks are not going to buy this house. I doubt anyone will, said Mr. Saunderson. I'd be happy to knock it down, said the young man. Yeah, call me if you need anything, said Mr. McGuffin, and he and his assistant headed for the pickup truck. Mr. Saunderson pulled up the for sale sign and flung it in his car. Then he and Dudley got in and drove off. The blue car was moving quickly down Tar Road. Are we going to live in that house? Asked Susan. I think, said her mother, there are too many other creatures already living there. But what about Spaghetti? Said the girl, bursting into tears. Sweetheart, you are going to have to get another friend, said her father. What? What kind of animal was that hugged my leg? A raccoon, I think. He was cute. Can I have one of those? We can think about it, said Susan's father. What we need, suggested Susan's mother, is a nice, calm picnic. In Gray House, Ragweed looked across the floor of the room and saw the mice throw off the snake skin. Poppy, he cried, am I glad to see you? Poppy in return said, Ragweed, how did you get here? It was at that moment that Lungwort emerged from his boot. He looked around and saw hundreds of mice standing around looking befuddled. Seeing Farmer Lamont's straw hat in a corner, he climbed up and from the crown cried, all right, family, please gather in close. I need to tell you what to do. Somewhere in the middle of Dimwood Forest, under the mound of rocks, Lotar snuggled up close to his mama. Do you think, Lotar asked, that Ragweed Mouse is lost? I'm sure he'll be fine. He was my best friend. You'll make lots of friends. Mama? What? You're my best friend. And you're mine. Now go to sleep. Okay, said Lotar, and that's what he did. And that's the end of chapter 40.